Hey there, geeks and geekettes. Mass movement review time, and this time, Marvel Comics Domino Hotshots. So guys, as you all know by now, Mass Movement magazine give me graphic novels and for reviewing purposes. I don't pay for the books, they don't pay me to review, so it's basically they give these books to me for free to review on behalf of Mass Movement. So Domino Hotshots. I knew very little about this book before I went in. So Gail Simone or Simon is the writer. Artists are David Baldion, Michael Shelfer, colouring by Jim Charalampidis. This is so much easier. I am absolutely useless at pronouncing names. So the basic premise of this book is that Domino has a team called the Hotshots. It features her and three others. Outlaw, Diamondback and Atlas Bear. But this time they get recruited into a mission and are joined by White Fox and Black Widow. I'm aware of who Diamondback was, I'm aware of who Outlaw was, but Atlas Bear I didn't have a clue, but she is a Wakandan from the home of Black Panther. So the story is basically a meteor or something falls from the sky and the team are set to retrieve it. When they arrive to retrieve this set item, the item is actually fused with a person who has got godlike powers. Later on in the book it's revealed where these powers have come from, and this is a wild ride of a story. Quite the first part of the book involving Domino is her being convinced to recruit her by Black Widow. There's a large chunk of the book is sort of, can Domino and the Hotshots trust Black Widow and Silver Fox because they've got allegiances to certain governments, i.e. they don't trust if Natasha Romanoff is working for the Russians or the Avengers. Basically, this thing they're going to retrieve, they know how powerful it is and they don't want it in anyone's hands. They decide that the best sort of course of action is for them to destroy it. Along the way, the Merc with a Mouth, everyone's favourite mutant, Deadpool, Wade Wilson, gets involved. And although Deadpool is one of my favourite Marvel characters, he's got a massive part in this book, and he's written as well as he always is. But Domino and her Hotshots, it's got to be said, this is a brilliant story. I love the story. I love the scope of this story. I didn't think that a Domino comic book would have stakes as high as they did. So back to the back cover. Full of mystery, rich characterization and wickedly witty dialogue. It's a comic that's impossible to put down until you've read it and reread it again. That's by On Comics Ground, and I'll support that statement. Domino and her Hotshots track down an artifact of ancient cosmic power. When Domino and her pals, Outlaw and Diamondback, find themselves caught between warring nations, they will have to call on a whole new crew of international women of mystery, including the Black Widow, to sort it out. But can the newly minted Hotshots survive the arrival of the Merc with a Mouth? Picture it. 6 undercover, highly trained and armed to the teeth women hunting down a device from space that will change life as we know it. But when Deadpool crashes the party, more than just the mission might be blown sky high. The immense power of the creation constellation will soon be in reach. But the only thing standing between Domino's squad and its power is each other. Which of these knockouts is going to get knocked out? So I've already said about the scope of this book, and literally the fate of the world rests in these characters and Deadpool. If Deadpool can not kill everyone along the way. and the story is very, very impressive. It was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. Obviously, the sort of stakes are such a high level. And once again, Marvel are knocking out of the park with the art. Obviously, there's the arrival of the Merc with a mouth. The variant cover art. I do like these sort of different takes. But the actual comic book art, when the action sequences are taking place, they are outstanding. I wish I could see what the threat was in this book towards the end, but that would be a massive spoiler. But it's far bigger than something you would consider to be in a Domino comic or a Hotshots comic. This sort of level of threat would be an Avengers level or X-Men and Avengers level, and these 6 women and Deadpool are going to sort of save the world. The book is funny, it's witty, it keeps you guessing. You don't always know who's a good guy or good girl and bad girl. You're unsure of where certain people land on it, whether somebody's going to turn. There are surprises in regards to who can be trusted and not towards the end. None of it is cliche at all. The characters are all well-rounded, well-written, and I really enjoyed this book. I know obviously who Domino is, and I've heard or read little bits of the other members of the team, but I'm not a massive sort of a font of all knowledge of Domino and the Hotshots. But this book quite easily explains who they all are, what their powers are, their gift sets, the interactions with each other, the interactions as the old team and the new team sort of trying to work together come about, who trusts who. Just a really well written book. It does feature Iron Man in some sections. Well, not Iron Man as such, but Tony Stark and some of his sort of Iron Army of droids. This book it's not only a deep story, well written and well drawn, but it is a fun ride. And Deadpool, they could not have included Deadpool in this book and it still would have been as good a book. Obviously Deadpool is sort of the cherry on the top because I love Deadpool. Most people do. He is funny, but Domino is just as funny. And the other thing that sort of shocked me with this book was there's a lot of heart in the book. Deadpool has some interactions and people show him a level of respect and care that's not usually shown to Deadpool. And everyone normally hates Deadpool in the comic book world. And it was nice to see, and it was nice to see how Deadpool reacted to these people treating him like a mammal. But there are some sort of awesome sections in the book, awesome splash panels. The action sequences are great. The scope is great. But if you're unsure of whether you know who these characters are, they actually show some of these sort of more vague characters. They'll show a background. I mean, everyone knows who the Black Widow is, so they don't waste time describing her background. But some of these other characters, they do, like the Wakandan Atlas Bear. They give a bit of her background information, but not too much where you've got to read a full story or a full sort of comic of this novel to get where she came from. It's just a few lines is enough. Obviously, they don't have to describe anything about Deadpool. Everyone knows Deadpool. But the action sequences, the sort of the scope, everything about this book, absolutely perfect. So, how would I rank this book? I would give Domino Hotshots by Marvel a 10 out of 10. I can't find a single fault in this book, in this story, or in this artwork. It is absolutely outstanding. I love everything about it. There is nothing about... I can't show you that page. Oh, there's too many spoilers. There is nothing about the artwork or the story that I didn't like. It's quite the book. If you love Marvel, you like Deadpool, this is right up your street. Even if you took Deadpool out of it, a Deadpool fan would enjoy the Hotshots. So that is my review for Domino Hotshots. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the link for Mass Movement down below. Go and find them on Twitter, Facebook, all the usual stuff at Mass Movement. And while you're there, I've got my own Facebook Bearded Geek page. I think it's called Bearded Geek 667. Go find that and just give some support. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I've been the Bearded Geek. Goodbye.